Basically, what I'm going to be doing in this video is just two things. First of all, I'm going to try and explain why it is important for you to be skilled as an entrepreneur, and why, and I'll just go through the 4 stages. So that's just going to be it. I want to give like an overview. Okay, this is what the course is all about. And the question I like asking people is this: we all agree that you have to be qualified to be a doctor, a lawyer. You can't give a quack. If I'm your friend, you understand, you can't come to me and say, let me represent you in court. Just because I'm your friend, just come and represent me. I know I have your best interest at heart, right? But you won't give that to your friend. You look for a lawyer that you don't even know at all because he is qualified. You understand? Even a mechanic, anybody, you need qualification, you need training for you to be able to do certain things. But why do we think that you don't need to be qualified to be an effective entrepreneur? Like, I don't understand. Even me, I've fallen into that trap before. Just got stuff, I just enter into the market and everything. You get it, just get money, have an idea, and then enter into the market. You get it. And just feel like, okay, that is going to be okay, that is going to cut it for us. You understand? So, there's a story behind the creation of this course. I'm going to do another video on that. You get it? But this particular one, I'm just going to blow straight. When I started business, when I was in the bank before, so I know that I wanted to enter into business. So I went into business. I tried my hand in a couple of things. I've had my hands once too. You get it? So I now did the research to know why businesses fail. So as to know how to be very good at being an entrepreneur. I did researches and did stuff, read books, did a lot of videos and all like that. I realized that there was no consensus. People were just like 20 reasons why businesses fail, 5 reasons why sometimes contradicting others. I was like, what is the problem? You understand? I didn't realize that, look, businesses fail just because of one thing. You get it? We don't have knowledge. If you don't know how to do business, if you don't understand, if you are not qualified, if you are not good, if you are not equipped with the right knowledge and skill on how to build a business, you will fail. It's simple. You say, okay, this because you didn't write your business plan, because you didn't do this, because you didn't do that. There are some people that did businesses without a business plan, they succeeded, and then there are some people that had business plan. It's just up and down everywhere. You get it? I just realized that, look, like every other thing in life, you get, if you don't have the right information about it, you will fail. The reason why people fail in business is because they don't have the information, the right knowledge about how to run a business. You know what I'm trying to say? And I didn't just come about that in one. No, I spent years. People that know, my friends, my family, they know I've done business and I have, so I didn't just stumble upon this in a day. No, you get it? There's a story behind that. We are going to do that. You get it? So fundamentally, we are going to deal with the story. But for now, let's just focus on it, because let me just go through the whole stuff quickly. You understand? And I want to try to make this as effective as possible. You get it? So fundamentally, people fail in business because they don't have the right skills. You get it? Now I'm not saying that, okay, you without the first stage, look, a lot of people have been successful in business. You get it? But most of the time, the reason why they succeed in business is because they have to acquire the skill through experience. You understand? And now you can decide to do that, but it's very expensive. You get it? You make a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes, they actually cost a lot of money, and a lot of it costs a lot. They have non-financial costs too. You understand? So you can decide to go along the experience path, try and do it. But you can decide to acquire the right knowledge. Because look, I now realize that, look, how do we standardize? Because like every other thing in life, like law, like everything, medicine, everything, there is a truth behind it. There's a principle behind it. Entrepreneurship should also have principles and everything. So that was what necessitated my voyage into looking for the right, how to build the right principles on how to build businesses. I go through the 4 stages of business creation. So basically, if you know, every problem that you experience in business, every problem that people experience can actually be traced to 4 fundamental issues. You can either have problem with the idea, or you have problem with the planning, or with your structures, or with your strategy for implementation or execution. You understand? 4 of those are the 4 primary avenues, ways where you can actually have problems in your business. So now let's go through all the stages now. You understand? First of all, the first stage of every business is the conceptualization stage. You start with the idea, conceptualization. That's where you come up with the idea. You understand? And one of the primary step, the milestone in the conceptualization stage is where you clarify the question. The stage of clarifying, because you have to understand what exactly you want to get out of this business. That's the first stage. Do you understand? After you've clarified the question, then you now go through the series of steps that you have to go through before you now come up with a very good and viable business idea. You get it? Now it's teachable. You can acquire the skill of how to come up with a very good idea and multiply your successes. And the second stage is the concretization stage. That's where you do the planning. You understand? That's where the business plan, the marketing plan, a lot of people just that pass through this stage, just skip this stage altogether. You get, and it's very, very important, very key, very pertinent. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So now that's it. Now we came up with we simplified the whole process. There's a way we actually did it. We simplified the process. The business planning tool, we simplified it, made it into like an easy to use framework. And you just feel, when you feel the framework, then you know you have your business plan already. And there's also something called the lowest functional form that I'm going to talk about in the 4th stage and the 3rd stage. So the 3rd stage is the building phase. That's where you build structures around your business. Every single thing that you're going to be doing in your business, you have to build structures around them. Don't just do things anyhow like that. You get it? You have to have structures around it. It is this stage that's what differentiates mom and pop shops and well-run, professionally run businesses. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not the product. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know, I don't know if you've ever seen a mama put, roadside vendor, food vendor, that their food tastes better than all these fast foods. So the reason why fast foods are more prosperous than the mom and pop is not because of the quality of the food, it's actually because of the structures that they've put around their business. And then the last stage is the execution or the implementation stage. Now that is where the business actually happens. And there's a strategy on how to be effective in executing your business plans. You get it? Like I usually tell people, I say do you know that the first responsibility of every entrepreneur is as a researcher? You get it? Your first activity as a business person, your implementation stage is as a researcher. Because you need to verify all the structures and systems and plans and everything, because no matter how good your plan is, situations on ground are usually, almost 100% of the time, are usually different. So you have a solid plan, you have a good structure, but you have an open mind. That is the overall mindset that you should have with your implementation strategy. You understand? So those are the 4 stages of business creation. And each of the stages, they start with a trigger, and then there's a final product. For each of the stages, like I was saying before, for each of the stages, there is a trigger for each of the stages, and then there's a final product. A trigger is what starts a stage, and then the final product is the final thing that you get after that stage, after you finish it. So for the trigger for the first stage can be anything. There is diverse, it's multifaceted, because you are just being introduced to the whole process. The final product is actually your vision and your mission statement. When you are able to conceptualize or concrete, that's have a concrete, a concise, that's the word. They have a concise expression, description of what you want to do. You get it? The vision is actually what you want to do, and then the mission is how you intend to go about it. And you can communicate it in a way that expresses what you want to do, and that is understandable by other people. And then now the mission in itself is actually the trigger for the second stage. And then the final product is when you have your financial and the financing plan. You get that's part of when you're doing all the planning and everything. And then for the third stage, the financing plan, when you secure financing for your business, because that's when you start actively spending money, generally speaking. That's what triggers the third stage. That's the trigger for the third stage. And then when you have your lowest functional form, and then an effective market entry plan, that is what ends that's the final product for the third stage. And then the market entry plan is the trigger for the fourth stage. So when you have your market entry plan, that's when you know that you have entered into the fourth stage. That's when you start executing, because you don't have a business to start selling. And then your final stage for the final product is when you are able to walk your way out of the business, so that you have a business that can run without you necessarily being there physically. You get it? So those are the 4 stages of business creation. You get it? That's how you can create any type of business. It doesn't matter the type of business, it doesn't matter what you are doing, whether you are selling kuli or whether you are building houses, it doesn't matter what you are doing. Everything, you can use this framework, follow the steps step by step and everything. What it does is that it simplifies the whole business making process. You get it? So now when you have, okay, this is what I want to go into business and everything, just like every other profession. For example, like a doctor, for example. You get it? Now, after you have been trained as a doctor, when you now see a problem, I don't have to start going all the way, okay, what is a human body? No. You already have the basic skills. So yours is now to apply the basic skill of medicine into that particular situation, into this particular situation. Sometimes you have to go and read and that's what this thing is all about. You get it? We have a goal, we have a vision. I believe that entrepreneurship business is actually the key to unlocking the actual potential of the black man, of the black race. And I believe Nigeria is actually key. Nigeria and any other part of the world. I don't know how far this is going to go, but I believe that this key will help unlock that potential. You understand what I'm trying to say? So please, as much as possible, the purpose of this course is to make it as simple as possible. If I can make it very simple, then I have achieved my goal. So that anybody can build successful businesses. Just follow the steps, step by step, and everything. We are going to do more videos about the particulars of the course. We have lecture videos, we have tutorials, we have the tools, and we have the ebook, the introduction to the first stages of business creation. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And over time, we are going to be collecting data, and then we are going to be refining the process. We want to commonize success in entrepreneurship. That is what we want to achieve, and I believe that we can achieve it. So thank you very much, and God bless you.